Beyond the Gate, our Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood podcast. I'm Megan.
And I'm Meg.
And we have two guests today. Do you want to introduce yourselves?
My name's Hannah.
And I'm Marli.
And they're from the Haikyuu Summit podcast, and they graciously agreed to join us for this little bonus episode.
Woohoo!
We're so excited.
Yeah, we're excited too.
Guess we can jump right in with some of our questions.
Let's do it.
Why did you guys decide to start a podcast?
Wow, great question. I think it would start with me because I was the first one to watch, and I thought Hannah would enjoy it because she played volleyball. I'm like, this is a volleyball show. You like volleyball, maybe? So I pestered her to watch it, and she was like, anime, that's a little weird. I don't really do that. But eventually she watched it and she loved it. And I guess I don't remember who said we should do a podcast. Do you remember?
You did.
Me. Okay. That's funny.
I literally remember you saying before I even started it, you're like, you should watch this anime and then we should do a podcast about
it. I was super excited.
You were really excited. It was great.
I love podcasts, and I love watching things that have an accompanying podcast. And I couldn't find that much for Haikyuu at the time, especially. Like, there was one podcast I listened to, it was just one girl just like going through the episodes, and I was like, yes, I love this. But I was like, I prefer like a little back and forth. So I was like, me and my friend could fill this gap. And then she watched it, and what do you think of it?
I liked it. I think it took a couple episodes, but then I was like, Marli, I can't stop watching this show. It's so good. And then I was nervous to start a podcast. I think we kind of went into the first episode with like, let's just try this out. Like, we'll just record ourselves. I'll edit it, and then we'll see what we think.
We just listened to it ourselves. We're like, fun. Yeah. We recorded ourselves.
Yeah, it was very nerve-wracking. Yeah. And then after we had it together, we're like, I guess we could just post it. Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite different from us. We are planners. We we spent months planning it, and like we recorded I think like 4 episodes before we even released one.
I think we had a couple in the bank, which was really smart at the time. Now we record like the day we're supposed to release. Whoops.
It's okay. Life gets busy.
It does. You guys release weekly, right?
Yeah. Just because the show is fairly long, so we wanna get through it kind of not quickly. We don't want to rush things, but there are also other things we'd like to talk about, like the movies and the light novels and stuff like that. So, and then we'll probably talk about another anime and make another podcast.
Yes,
for sure.
Well, we also just wanted to tell you guys why we wanted to have you on the show, because you inspired us to do a podcast. I don't know, it was like 3 years ago. Like Megan was like, maybe we should do a podcast together, because we just like spend hours like talking about all these shows and stuff. And I was like, I don't know, like we can't do that. That would be weird. And then we watched Full Metal, and we would spend for like months and months, we'd spend hours like talking about it every night.
Yeah.
And then we were like, you know what? I think we can do this. And when we heard your podcast, you were like, oh, we can definitely do this. Somebody else is doing this. We can too.
Yeah. Because when you started, you just kind of built on it. Like, you just started the podcast, and I think in the first episode you said something like, we started this on a whim, and then like a couple episodes later we're like, we got an Instagram now, and then pretty soon I went on your Instagram and saw how many followers you had, and you were posting memes. So it seemed very doable as long as you have the passion for the show you're talking about.
Totally.
Yeah, but the way I found you guys was like you mentioned before, there weren't any Haikyuu podcasts to listen to, really. So this is a bit of a cheesy story, but last year I was gonna head home to visit for a little bit, and it was the first time I was driving my car. This is the first car I've ever owned, by the way. First time I was driving my car home, which is like a 3-hour trip. And I was really nervous. I get really nervous while driving, and I needed something to calm myself down while driving. So I was like, I wonder if there's a podcast. And I saw it said Haikyuu, and I looked through, and there was no like E for explicit over it, which is what I was looking for. 'Cause I don't like podcasts that have a lot of curse words. But yeah, it was super cute. And then I turned it on, and I was just listening to you guys talk about like one of my favorite shows, and I was agreeing with a lot of your comments on the characters. And I think a couple times during the trip I was like pounding my steering wheel, because I was going, yes, yes, yes. Like we were talking about some of the matches. So
yes. So good.
Yeah, thank you for that. That was a moment of need, and you guys really helped.
That's amazing. That makes us so happy to hear.
It does.
And then of course I told Meg, like, you gotta listen to this.
I totally put on podcasts whenever I drive because I get nervous, and I'm like, let me just listen to someone else have this conversation, and I'll just think about that.
Yeah.
Okay, what is who's your favorite character on Haikyuu?
Well, my favorite character is Kageyama, because he is so beautiful, and he's so shy, and he doesn't know how to interact with people, but then he gets on this wonderful team who teaches him about friendship and loyalty. And then he becomes a sweet little friendly boy sometimes. He still doesn't know how to be that nice, but he's just so cute, and he's so good at volleyball, and I love him so much.
He's a great character.
Yeah.
He's such a good character. I feel like I jump around a lot, but like my main one I stick with is Oikawa, which is like controversial. But
no, I have a friend who really loves Oikawa too.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. I remember when I first like was introduced to him in the show, Marli was sending me like the Trashikawa memes. And I was like, oh, everyone hates this guy? I kind of like him.
I don't hate him, but he's not my favorite.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. That's very fair. I think I just like am drawn to like the characters who seem like a bad guy, but they're actually not. Like,
yeah.
I mean, he can totally be a jerk, but I also just like really admire his talent and like his intelligence when he's playing. And I know there's more to him beyond the immaturity.
You sound like Megan. Every time we watch a show, there's like a bad guy, and she's like, "Oh, he can't be that bad." Like,
okay, but I was proven right in Dr. Stone. Ukyo was a good guy all along. Just saying.
Gotta hold out for those moments. Makes it all worth it.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I like to see the best in people, and that translates to characters, because I don't know. I've just watched so many shows and read so many books that there's always something more, when you like really dig down in the character. So I like hold judgment until like the very last moment.
That's awesome.
Who are your favorite characters in Haikyuu?
It's really hard to choose a favorite. I tend to really like the setters. I don't know why, but I like vibe with Akashi, and I took a personality test and I got Suga. And I like Kageyama too, but if I had to choose a favorite, I think it would be Kenma.
Oh, like, he's my second favorite.
Yeah, he's very cute, very sweet. His hair is very interesting.
Yeah.
I wore his jersey to Comic-Con. That was really fun.
Nice.
Yeah. But I think I just kind of vibe with him because he's, so wrapped up in his video games all the time and doesn't really notice what's happening around him. And that was me in high school, except with books instead of video games.
Got it.
I feel that.
How about you, Meg?
I have two favorite characters. I can't pick just one. Kageyama is one of my favorites, just for some of the same reasons that you said, but also he reminds me of myself when I played sports. Like, taking it like way too seriously and almost to the point where it's like not fun, but it still is. Except he is a prodigy and I was most definitely not. And then my other favorite is Noya. He's just so fun. Like, he's definitely a guy that I would want to be around all the time. Except for like his obsession with girls is like the one thing that like not my favorite. But
that's so funny.
It's still
he's
fun.
Like, when I saw the like little banner on Netflix for Haikyuu, I thought Noya was the main character because he looked like the main character, and he's a libero, so he's got the different colored jersey and his hair is so cool.
So true.
It's like either him or the orange-haired guy. But yeah, I think Noya is just a character that everybody likes. Like, I have never seen any hate for Noya anywhere.
That's a good point.
True. How could you dislike him?
Yeah. He's like, I'd give him MVP for every episode just for him.
It's so hard.
Okay. It's kind of a similar question, but who do you think would be your best friend in Haikyuu? Get along with the most?
We always like think too much about these kinds of questions, and we're like, is it like high school us or like current us?
Yeah.
And I feel like it kind of has to be high school us, otherwise it's kind of weird. Like, I probably wouldn't hang out with high school boys.
Well, if you look at their like Wikipedia entries, technically they're the age that they were when the manga came out, so they'd be around 26 years old now.
That's okay. You can hang out with them. I don't know their adult personalities as well as their high school personalities.
I think they stay kind of the same. Most of them. I read like this 10-year anniversary mini chapter the author came out with, and it looked like all of them were pretty similar to how they were in high school.
That's awesome. I would say I'm very different from high school. I think in high school I would hang out with Oikawa, and in my current day I would hang out with Kageyama probably.
Nice.
I could see you being friends with Kageyama.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, you could like bring him out of his shell a little bit.
Exactly.
But you'd also like be comfortable around him because he's not too extroverted.
Yeah, we would only hang out like once a month. That'd be great.
Yeah. I feel like I'm gonna say Tadashi because I was a lot like Suki in high school.
I don't have memories of this, but when you've told me stories, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess this guy. But I was like your Tadashi, so I didn't notice it as much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think I was a bit of a Tadashi in high school. So we might be friends.
That's awesome.
Yes.
But yeah, I think I don't know, I'd hang out with Suga because he seems to be the kind of guy who wants everybody to be included in everything.
True.
Yeah.
Nice.
Also, I definitely would have had a crush on him in high school.
Fair.
Yeah. I think for me, I'm definitely the person that like needs to be adopted by an extrovert. So I said a bunch of people last night when you were talking about this, but I think
you gotta record all the time.
Well, you said Noya and Tanaka.
Yeah,
I think.
Maybe Noya and Tanaka. They would be.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, they would be a fun group. And then I also said I think Kuro from Nekoma.
Huh. Interesting.
You and Kuro would be hanging out, and then Kenma and I would just be like sitting in our respective spots, not listening.
That's awesome.
That'd be perfect.
All right. Okay. What school would you want to go to in Haikyuu?
Oh man.
Okay. We've talked about this, and I think I'm going to stick with my answer. I'm going to choose based on uniform, just like Nishinoya, because I'm not a big fan of the like mint color of Abojosai. I like the red and black for Karu's team, whatever they're called.
Oh, Nekoma. Yeah.
Nekoma. I do like the gray. I don't know. Oh, but I don't really like their school uniforms at Rokodani. They have like little ties. I don't know what the girls wear though. But all that said, I do like Kurasuno's uniforms the best. I totally agree with Nishinoya on that.
Oh, their school uniforms.
Their school uniforms, yep.
Seems like a fun school also.
It does. Yeah, it's got like fun but chill vibes.
Yeah, it's a real place, by the way. It's
I've
not
seen
Karasuno,
pictures.
but yeah.
Cool.
Bucket list.
Yes.
I know, for real.
Mhm.
Oh.
I think I'm gonna go with Nekama. They're like such a cool team. Not that I mean, I guess I don't know a lot about like the school besides the team, but the team is like so cool. I love their energy.
Yeah.
The
I'd say
cats.
Nekama too.
Oh, the cats, yeah.
Yeah. And their school uniforms have like the plaid on them too. So it's
Oh.
like, I'd wear that.
That's cool. And I'd want to be friends with Kuru and Kenma for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Totally.
Yeah. I also gotta go with Karasuno. It seems like a cool place to go, and uniforms are also cool. And
Hey,
the
this is
The
volleyball
best
team.
team to cheer on. Yeah.
This is great. We got two going to Karasuno, 2 going to Nekama. We got the rival
Fun.
teams.
Rivals. Cats versus crows.
Yeah.
Was it like trash can showdown?
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, one thing that me and Megan really love about Haikyuu and all shows really are the intros and outros. Do you guys have like a favorite one? It can be either the song or like also just like the imagery also.
The first one is so classic. Like the nostalgia goes with that now.
Right.
The song, and then like when it's like the school opening.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to beat that one.
I feel like I like Tome Fly. Like that's like that's it encompasses Haikyuu for me. But like the opening scenes of the first season of the gym opening and they're getting their sneakers and stuff, like it's so nostalgic. It's so great.
Yeah, I think I have to go with Tove Fly. And I don't know, it just gets me the most hype. And also it's the artist, they're called Burnout Syndromes, and they do another intro for Haikyuu in the newer season, and they also do like the first opening for Dr. Stone, which is also another hype song.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. For outros, I can't remember, this might have been the second or third one, but it's the one where it's like all sketchy and it's Kageyama, you know, like bouncing the volleyball, and then it I don't know, it's like a very low key one, but I just love like the sketchy animation to it.
Oh, remember that. Sounds cool.
Outros, it's really hard to pick because I love all of them, but probably the one that you're on now, the second half of season 2.
Yeah.
The
comic book.
For the intro.
Oh, the intro. Sorry.
Yeah, the same one as you. The outro though, I really like the one from season 3 where it's like all the teams. I don't remember how it goes, but
it's like it's scrolling by and you see all the teams. It's a different art style.
One.
Yeah, I like that one too. I don't know. Even if I don't like the song, if an outro has like the good images to it, I will watch it over and over again.
I think that's pretty much all our questions about Haikyuu. I guess what other anime have you guys watched and enjoyed?
Take it away, Marli.
We're so bad at talking. Why do we have a podcast? Okay, yes. So my favorite animated show, this isn't quite anime, but is Avatar: The Last Airbender, which it was on Netflix during COVID, and we were at home, and I'm like, let's watch this random cartoon, and it was the best thing in my life. Changed my life. I was like, this is amazing.
I have a quick story about that one.
Okay.
So freshman year of college, I was in an art club, and they decided to watch that like every week we met, and I never grew up watching it, and we just like binged it, and by the end I was just like, I need this, I need more, and
I need more.
Yeah, and then I told Meg, like, you gotta watch this show, and I was I was roommates with another one of my friends at the time, and the three of us sat down, like she was on Zoom, and us two were in front of the computer and watched like the entire finale together.
Oh my word. That's
amazing.
That's my dream. Like I watched it with my husband and we loved it. But now I want to like share it with someone else and like watch it with
Yeah.
them. But I can't find anyone who like wants to like come to my house once a week to watch an animated Hannah, you can't fly
Can I
here.
come over?
Yes, it just costs like $400. But that sounds so fun. Like sharing that experience with your friends is like that's so magical.
Yeah, we meet almost every night and we watch a show together over Zoom.
Oh,
3, 2, 1, click the play button.
yes,
Yes.
we've totally done that.
Been there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the best.
That's so cute.
Cute.
Mhm.
But then more anime related, I watched Haikyuu after that, and I watched Full Metal Alchemist, which I loved, and then My Hero Academia, which is also like pretty top tier for me. And then
Nice.
I've like attempted to watch other ones, and I don't think I've finished any. Oh, yeah, I haven't finished any because I watched like Hunter x Hunter, but I quit. Have you guys seen that?
Meg watched the entire thing. It's her brother's
Okay.
favorite anime.
Oh,
We started watching, but I had to bow out after a certain scene with Hisoka. He is the
yes,
worst.
I quit after that. I was like, this
Yep.
is too
Uncomfortable.
weird. I
Yeah.
heard that the next seasons are actually like super good.
Mhm. They
Yeah.
are. It's if you can just like honestly, you don't even need to watch that scene. You just
Right,
like,
it's so
skip
pointless.
that and then watch the rest of it, and it is very good.
Yeah.
There is like one 60 episode season that's like
It's so long.
insane, but it's so good.
Okay.
I would recommend just skip Hisoka. He sucks. I know some people absolutely love him,
Yeah.
Ew.
which I don't
No.
understand why,
Very
but
interesting.
it's a good show.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I have finished Demon Slayer. What's come out of Demon Slayer so far?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the new season.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of you I thought mentioned on the podcast Bungo Stray Dogs.
That's me. I think I've brought it up like too many times. Because that's the only other one I've watched, to be
Okay.
honest. I feel like not a great anime fan, but yeah, Marley got me into Haikyuu, and then I was like, oh, I guess I did try watching, I think it's called Kuro's Basketball, or like Kuro.
Oh, yeah, I've heard
Basketball.
of that. Yeah.
Kurano
Yeah,
basketball.
I was just like, yeah, that's it, maybe. I was like, oh, I'll just like try another sports one because Haikyuu is so good, and I just was like not feeling it. I think it was fine, but maybe I didn't give it enough of a chance.
Well, I think
but
that
I also,
other sports anime just kind of pale in comparison.
right?
That's my impression, but I have nothing to
Yeah.
go off of.
And then I was like, well, I should like branch out, maybe try a different kind of anime. And I was very intrigued by the concept of Bungo Stray Dogs.
How did
That's
you
all I
find
watched.
it?
So much. Oh, have neither of you seen it?
Not yet. We've been
No.
wanting to for a while, but it's like next to watch, and Jujutsu Kaisen also next to watch.
Oh, yes. I want to see that too.
I found Bungo Stray Dogs because I was watching some YouTube videos by this girl called Steal the Spotlight,
Yes.
and she does like like outfits inspired by anime,
Oh,
and she like raved about Bungo Stray Dogs, and that's like I want to go and watch some more of her recommendations because she loves Haikyuu too.
She did a video where she dressed as if she were going to the school's game. Like she just like attends, and now it's the volleyball game, so she's gonna dress like
Cool.
in the tone that or like of the vibes of the team. So like her
Good.
I always forget the name of their team. Kenma and Crew's team.
Nekoma.
Nekoma.
Yeah.
Like Nekoma, she had like chains and black and was like all cool and gangster. It was so great.
That's awesome.
Cool. Well, we have some show recommendations for you. So if
Yes.
like Hannah, if you want to get more into anime,
Yeah. I do.
So like we said before, Fruits Basket. A brief summary of that is this girl through a series of events is without a home, and two boys agree to take her into theirs, but she finds out a family secret that whenever they are hugged by a member of the opposite sex, they turn into a zodiac animal. So
no.
it's really cute though. One's the rat, one's the cat, and then you get to meet all the other zodiacs. It's super sweet, but there's like this lingering darkness to their curse that she has to like decide if she wants to break the curse.
I have a lot of questions.
The premise sounds so weird, but it's actually so good.
Yes.
Okay, so you both like it. Okay.
Yes. Oh, definitely, yes.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
What age are these people? Why did these two boys take in this girl? I'm confused.
Okay, so they all go to the same high school, so they're around 14, 15 when it starts.
Interesting.
And it is kind of weird, and a lot of people do bring up the question of like, is this morally correct because she's a girl and they're two guys? But it's done in a way where it's like you get the upper room, you get your own room, your own bathroom, to earn room and board. Yeah, to earn the room and board, you cook and clean, because they need the help around the house, and it's just an all-around weird situation she finds herself in. Yeah.
I have another question. When they turn into animals, are they animals forever, or do they switch back after a while?
There's a time limit. Yep.
Oh, okay. I was like, and then she's just a room full of animals. And that's her time.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And another one we both would highly recommend is Dr. Stone.
You mentioned that.
So good. Yes.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's got a pretty strong fan base, but a pretty small fan base compared to other anime. And the premise of that one is one day this mysterious beam of light turns all the people in the world to stone. And and so like 3,700 years later, one guy breaks out and he decides he's going to restart civilization.
Oh, fun.
That's so good.
Yes.
Oh, my word.
Is it like finished, the whole show?
Not yet, no.
No.
The manga is finished, but yeah. Then we got Your Lie in April, which is a little bit sad.
Isn't that the violin one?
That's the violin one.
Okay.
We've been wanting to watch that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that one's also more of like romance
Shoujo.
anime.
Yeah. I have a recommendation for Black Clover, which is one that my friend Ava and I are watching. It's like fantasy, magic, Lord of the Rings-esque sort of world. Yeah, I can't tell where the story is going right now, and that's what makes it exciting. Promised Neverland, also a little bit sad.
You watched that? I thought that was another one that was like a little out there.
It is,
like a little weird.
Yeah, just watch season 1 though, not season 2. Season 2 is terrible. Death Note, that's another one.
Oh, heard of that.
Yep.
So good.
Yes. And we would recommend Attack on Titan, but make sure you have like a box of tissues with you.
And a therapist.
Yeah, I'm scared. For how violent it is actually so good. I watched it, and now I'm making Megan watch it, and she's been like, wouldn't watch it for years, but she is hooked. She is.
So you've watched the whole thing so far, whatever's out?
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm almost caught up. Oh, here's another emotionally damaging show that I'm trying to get Meg to watch, but it's called To Your Eternity. And there are some parts of it that are hard to muscle your way through, but it's another kind of out there premise. There's this creature who's created, and he's immortal, and he can shapeshift. And it's just his journey discovering how to be a human and how to live. There's more to it than that, but he's learning like the good and bad aspects of humanity all at once, and he's really adorable.
That's the best.
Yep. And have you watched any anime movies?
I watched My Hero Academia. There was like the one in between seasons.
Okay. There are 3 movies for My Hero Academia, all of which I really like.
Okay.
Ooh.
I think I've only done one. And I watched the English dub, which You like the English dub?
I love the dub.
Oh man. I mean,
we met Todoroki's voice actor. He's so cool.
I would love it too then.
That's
That's awesome.
I just watched there's one movie that goes with Bungo Stray Dogs. Well, actually, there's an animated movie, and then they made a live action movie,
Oh, okay.
which was pretty cool. I mean,
yeah, so there are two anime movies that people really highly regard. There's Your Name, which is very good, like
It's by
breathtaking
itself.
animation by itself. And then my favorite is A Silent Voice, and it's kind of hard hitting because it talks about mental health. But I just really like the way it's done, and I think it's done very respectfully to people who struggle with anxiety and depression. But yeah, it's also very cute. There's a little romance in it too.
Ooh,
sounds good.
I'm in.
Yeah.
There's also romance in Your Name, which is my favorite.
Oh,
That one's so super cute because they really get to understand each other as individuals before there's any hint of romantic intent.
Ideal.
Ideal.
Yes.
They're best friends first.
Oh, love it.
Hopefully that wasn't too many recommendations.
Yeah, sorry. I sort of just
No, that's great.
Please
I love it.
message them to us because I wasn't taking notes.
I took notes.
For sure.
I took
You
notes. I
did.
got you.
Yeah, you took notes. Okay.
No, it's great
All
because
right.
getting personal recommendations is so much more helpful. I get nervous just trying something randomly because I'm you never know what could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've
Yeah.
tried stuff and I've been like, what is going on?
That's
Yeah,
why it's good to get
I-
a second opinion, because then
Mhm.
if there's something bad that happens, somebody can warn you ahead of time. Like with Attack on Titan, Meg
Yeah.
definitely warned
I
me for
wish
something.
someone would warn me.
Oh man, I wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
Just saying, okay, Armin is my favorite character.
Okay.
I didn't know I had a maternal instinct until I met him.
Oh,
That's so funny. Love it.
Yes, he is a cinnamon roll, but I'm Captain Levi all the way. My favorite.
He's
Door King.
he's animated very
I
attractively.
love that. I love when people say it that way. He is drawn so nicely.
It's his hair. It's definitely his hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That makes a big difference.
who is this?
Attack on Titan characters.
What's
Yeah,
I
let
just
me
wanna look up.
see.
I'm just
Captain
curious.
Levi. I also
Look
like
at
how their
pictures
names
real
are
quick.
European, so I can remember the names easier.
Oh, fun.
Mhm.
Oh, I never noticed. Duh. I know
Oh.
people named Armin and Levi.
Yeah. So I look up the name meanings because it's really interesting.
Ooh.
Armin is of German origin and it means soldier. And then Levi, it's, Hebrew origin, and the meaning didn't make sense to me, but when I was reading my Bible a while back, I was reading about the Israelites, and Levi was meant, the tribe of Levi was meant to protect the tribe or Aaron's priesthood. So
You're right.
So it's like, Levi, Aaron, wait a second.
Whoa. Wow, that's so
Whoa.
cool. I wonder if they thought about that. If they
I bet that mangaka seems to know what he's doing, so I think he
Dude.
must have.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And just the commentary the mangaka makes on war and the effects on humanity and I don't know, I'm not usually a super huge fan of that Brave New World stuff, let's comment on society and how corrupt it is.
Sure.
But the way he does it, it's there's still hope with a lot of the characters, and I think it's done very well so far. We'll see.
Mhm. Yeah.
Hannah, did you see this?
I did see some. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yes. I may or may not have a sticker of that exact image.
That's awesome.
Sometimes you just need to see one character and then you're like, I'd watch that anime.
Mhm.
We did that childhood crushes video and podcast episode, and Levi he popped up.
Fun.
Yeah. And Daichi and Suga and
Yeah.
a lot of others.
Yeah, Daichi makes sense.
Mhm. No, I say if I was gonna marry one guy from that show, it would be Daichi.
It
For
probably
sure.
would, man.
I don't
best.
know.
Probably,
I'd
the
be with
best.
Suga.
You can't go wrong with Team Mom and for Team Dad.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Oh, if you ever get the chance to watch season 4 of Haikyuu in dub, they kind of play off of that mom and dad vibe.
Oh my word.
They have so much fun with the dub. The sub is good too. Just saying, the sub is excellent, but I like the dub even more because I feel like they have artistic liberty. And I think there's a scene where they're all like, they're going to sleep after a tournament day or something like that, and Suga looks over at Noya, who's like snoring, and he goes, our happy-go-lucky kid is finally asleep.
That's awesome.
I can't wait for you to watch season 4, Marli.
I know.
It's really fun.
Okay.
It's so hype.
I don't know why I'm so nervous about it. And now it's like we're too deep in it. I've committed. No one's asked me to do this, but I want to wait and like watch it live.
Yeah. It's, you kind of have to get through the first half before the exciting stuff happens, but
okay.
That's kind of
there's a lot of cute stuff.
Yeah. We watched it. Meg and I watched it last year. We kind of found a sketchy website to watch the dub on because it's not released anywhere else.
The struggle.
Yeah. But
we can
when
talk
we
about that
it,
for a second.
Yeah.
How
but
like,
when
no
we
anime is available
like,
legally.
I know. I was in my last season of track and field in college, and so watching them, be hyped for the games that they're doing made me go, okay, I can do this.
That's
so great.
Okay, did we have any more questions for our side of the podcast, Meg? Or
I guess, Hannah, you haven't seen it, but we wanted to kind of talk about FMA just a little bit since this is a FMA podcast.
For sure.
But I guess we want to know Marli, who's your favorite character in the show?
Okay, I should have refreshed myself. Ed and who's the other one? Al is my favorite because he's just the sweetest little baby. And he always wants the best for everyone. He also, he's a good alchemist. He's so talented. He gets a little overshadowed by his brother. But he's super talented and super humble and so sweet.
He is.
So
I
nice. Love him. He's, I would say he's my favorite.
Yeah. Well, okay. My favorite is Ed. I just love.
He's a good choice.
I love his angry little bean. But also
the memes you guys post are so funny sometimes. Angry little bean.
But he's so caring, and I love that. And also, him and Winry is the best.
The tension, the friendship.
Yes. I would say that Ed is my favorite, but to be different from Meg and to go off the beaten path, I actually really like Envy, who is a horrible person, terrible person, but the shape-shifting power is just so cool.
It is. You would get surprised. I like that they were able to surprise me a few times. You would think you would anticipate is this Envy? But then you would just forget, and then you'd be like, oh no, it's Envy.
Yeah. It was also when I saw his character design, I was like, whoa, the hair, that is so cool. And the outfit's kind of weird, but it's cobbled together. It's kind of cool. And then I don't know. He's very sassy.
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
What's the name of the one? Oh, well, he's one of the 7 deadly sins. Greed. I also like Greed.
Yep.
Greed and Ling. Greed and Ling are awesome.
He's one of my faves.
That was a really cool plot line. Anyway.
Okay, I guess the last question that we have is Haikyuu FMA crossover. Who would get along and who would not? Who do you think would be best friends?
This is such a fun question. I don't know. I have to. This is one of the questions that Sujeevan was asked from the Haikyuu Summit chat. I'm okay, I have to think of these characters for so long and I can't remember. Okay, you guys answer first and then I'll bounce off of it.
Okay. Let's see. Al likes cats, so he would get along with anybody from Nekoma.
Oh, cute!
That's
so cute.
I think that the libero from Nekama, Yaku, he would like slip inside of Al's armor and like terrorize people.
Oh my word. That's amazing.
I don't know.
I feel like Ed would clash with quite a few people.
Yeah, I was like, who would Ed get along with? But I was like,
He would not get along with Tsukishima. No way, no how.
Oh, that'd be so bad. Don't put those two in a room together.
He might be
I
okay
feel
with
like
Kageyama. Maybe.
yeah, they might
could
like
see that.
understand each other.
Ooh.
And I feel like Hinata would definitely want to be his friend.
Yeah, you would just get along with everyone.
Yeah.
I love Hinata.
Noya and Ed would be fine, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Mhm.
passionate. Yeah, that's a good one.
You know what? Kuro is a lot like Ling, and Ed and Ling are very good friends. So it might be one of those like, I hate you at first, but now we're best buds kind of thing.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, that'd be a good match.
That's so fun. I would love to see that crossover.
Yeah, very different worlds, but
Yeah. Yeah. Very different hardships.
yeah.
Well, Ed is short like Hinata, and he'd probably want to be a spiker because, you know, like slamming balls in people's faces.
For sure.
Yeah, he's also got that metal arm.
That would hurt.
That could be
bad.
dangerous.
Ooh, that sounds dangerous. Very scary.
Okay, in a world where he only has a prosthetic leg, then.
Sure.
Yes. You know, I've seen people with prosthetics play, you know, in games like non-Paralympic games. So I think he could do it.
Oh, totally. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's all the questions that we had. Thank you guys for coming on. It's super fun. Where can everybody find you?
Thank you so much for having us. This was really fun. And this
Yeah,
is our
you're
first
welcome.
time guest starring on another podcast. So very exciting. You can listen to us on like any major podcast platform. We're called the Haikyuu Summit, Haikyuu with 2 U's. And then we're also on Instagram at the Haikyuu Summit. And our email is haikyuusummit@gmail.com if you want to contact us for some reason.
All right. And do you guys have any fun future plans, or just plugging away on your podcast, or
Yeah, I guess we'll just keep going, which is pretty exciting that it's still going. Because like we talked about, like we're like, I don't know what we're doing, but I think we're gonna just like shit.
Yeah, it's been 2 years already.
That's so crazy.
And I think, I mean, there's a possibility like when we do finally finish, because we only put out episodes every 2 weeks. So we'll be doing it for a while, but when we finish, maybe we'll do another anime.
I would be super interested in that.
I feel like once you get sucked into the podcast world, it's hard to stop.
Yeah.
Dig deeper.
Yeah.
And there's so much anime out there, so
Yeah.
We're like you guys too. Like we're always watching shows together, but separately. So very real possibility.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Awesome.
Guess that's that for this episode.
Anything else? Yeah. All right.
All right. Goodbye to the audience.
Yes.
bye.
Bye.